All right, here's how to create a B2B email marketing campaign that actually converts in 2025. This is exactly how I added $60 million in pipeline value for one of my clients, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same. This isn't going to be a basic setup or fluffy advice video. This is going to be the exact strategies and tactical advice that drive conversions, build pipeline, and close deals. So if you're tired of sending emails that aren't opened, don't get replies, and don't convert, then you're going to want to watch this. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 battle-tested strategies that create B2B email marketing campaigns that actually convert. So the first place we're going to start with the $60 million email marketing campaign is with proof and positioning. This campaign generated $60 million in pipeline using segmentation and value-first messaging. What that means is that we found the right buyers for the solution that my client had. The list itself was actually pretty small, but because we had dialed it in to such a specific cohort of people who needed the solution, we were able to position it for them, and it was something that we knew they wanted. Once we had the segmentation nailed, then we went to value first messaging. And this was simply just providing the value of our offer right up front when presenting our solution. Think of the difference of sending an email campaign to a group of people that you already know are in market because they've shown some intent for your solution versus sending an email to everybody asking, hey, are you interested in SEO services? Hey, do you need paid ads? If you can surface some intent from them, then you're going to do a lot better with your messaging. See, most B2B campaigns fail because they focus on features, not the outcomes that they're going to generate for them. If your offer is SEO, then you wouldn't want to start with features like new blog posts every week and a new logo and new creatives on the website and fresh images and a new design. Those are all features. Everybody has that. You want to sell the transformation. That's the outcome. You want to tell them, we're going to rebrand you and modernize it so that you look like the leading authority in the space. And then we're going to raise your position on Google from whatever it is now to top 3 so that anybody that is looking for your solution is going to find your business first and be able to work with you. I want to set the expectation. This video is about driving measurable pipeline, not just inbox vanity metrics. You'll see a bunch of people online saying that they send 50,000 emails, 75,000 emails a month for their clients. That does not seem like a very segmented campaign to me. I don't know about you. A good offer in the right industry with a small list, just under 10,000, got us $60 million in pipeline value in just the first 3 weeks. That's not to say that we couldn't scale the offer. That's just to say that you can drive a lot of business with the right segmenting and the right list. You want to treat your cold email campaigns like sales infrastructure, not just marketing noise that you can put out there, so you might as well. If you can be strategic and get into each segment that might need any of your solutions with specific messaging and positioning, that's going to do a lot better than if you would send a blanket campaign. Honestly, both can work. I'm not saying that they won't, but you're going to have a lot more success if you can tailor the message and position it for the right buyer. These are some of the metrics from that campaign. And if you're looking at this and thinking that I just said that the list is less than 10,000 people and here's 19,000 emails sent, do note that this is including every single follow-up. So you can at least divide this list by 3. So most of you looking at this will probably look at this and think about open rates first, but really the only 2 metrics that matter are reply rates and positive reply rates. And as you can see for this one, obviously it crushed. The second thing that you need to do is get precision targeting and segmentation on point. You have to segment by the vertical, the title, the pain point, and the buyer journey stage. The more segmented down that you can get, the better it is. Because if you're targeting a chief revenue officer that just signed up for a new CRM and has a team of maybe 5 people, that's a completely different sales pitch than reaching out to some head of sales at a large enterprise that has no need for a new CRM or any solutions like that. They're going to have different pain points. They're in different stages in their buyer journey, and they have different priorities at those stages. You should be able to do a little bit of research to figure out where they're at for that. Also, depending on the vertical that you're going after, if you're going after a sales org, then you might know that at the end of the quarter, everybody's rushing to hit their sales goals. You might be able to use that information to your advantage. These kinds of things, like when they bought a new CRM or if they're at the end of their sales cycle, are called signals. And you want to find as many signals as you can that might lead you to believe that they are more or less ready to purchase whatever solution you have. Signals can include funding, tech stack, recent hires or job postings, even media features or announcements or new product launches. Broadly though, your ideal ICP means ideal client profile, is going to be your decision makers that have budget and are motivated to make a decision with urgency. I'm not saying that you're always going to know where everybody's at in every deal stage, but the more that you can stack in your favor, the better it's going to go. So you want to layer this data in. You can find job titles, funding announcements, tool usage, and there's plenty of databases like Built With or Wappalizer that'll be able to do this for you. Third, if you're looking for email campaigns that actually convert, hyper-personalized messaging is a must. Ideally, you want to make it feel like this email was personally written for them. There's only one person that this detail is relevant to, and it's them. Leading with insight about their product, the market, or different pain that they're feeling. No fluff, just going directly at whatever's going on, showing that you've done your homework helps a lot. You don't want to gut into the trap of these cliches of people saying, oh, you think the Raiders are going to take it all or the Cubs look good this year. You don't know if they like sports, and it just screams that you did basically no research. Unless they are randomly and a diehard Cubs fan, then it's most likely going to be thought of just spam. And I'm going to give you a golden nugget on this one. Whenever I write copy, I do the exact same thinking every time. I try to think to myself, if I wouldn't say this in a one-on-one call, I wouldn't say it in an email. And I'm talking about not just what I'm saying, but how I would say it. You want to make it sound as conversational, like you're talking to someone else, like a colleague, like an internal memo as possible. It's fine to use tools like Instantly or Smartly that now have AI copywriting, or even ChatGPT, but to be honest, nothing has really been quite like that human output. It doesn't sound quite good enough yet. I always write all of the copy pretty much from scratch. This was one of the drafts that I don't think I ended up using, but I used something pretty close to it. But you can get a lot of my points based on what I wrote here. It says, we help UAV teams like company bring their products to market faster than competitors by delivering custom prototypes 40% faster with AS9100D certified precision. Right there, I've introduced a couple things. One, I know that you're a UAV team. I remember I segmented the audience for that. I even called that business out by name, and I told them that we are getting them to market faster, which for that title is a priority. They want to be the first to market in a lot of ways, and they need to get their products out to be competitive. Then I introduced my solution, custom prototypes, 40% faster with AS9100D is the aerospace standard for parts. You are basically looking at the highest quality part you can get for aerospace. Then simple. Do you have a few minutes to connect and discuss how we can fast track your next bid project? It's a soft CTA with personalization that says that we have something that is meant for you and you alone. And let me show you exactly what I mean and how this email came to be. This is with the value-driven cold email framework. So number one, you start with a hook. Start with something they care about. Start with pain, with fear, or an ambition that they want to achieve for their company. In the case of the email that I just shared, we were testing an angle. The angle was seeing whether they were interested in getting their products out to market faster. We were addressing an ambition. Then we provide the value. This is either an insight, a tactic, or a mini case study that earns the scroll of that person. They're looking at the first line, what gets them to continue reading it? That's by being specific and offering something that is a solution to something that they are probably trying to fix right now. In this case, it was taking products to market and being able to do it 40% faster. But this is typically where you would cite that you were able to achieve a result with whatever specific mechanism your solution has. Then after that, it's a soft CTA or call to action. It's a soft next step saying, hey, let's do an audit. Let's have a quick call. Are you interested in this, or would you like this resource? Another thing that I do every time I write an email is called writing out loud. This is where I write my email and then I read it out loud first and then condense. You'd be surprised how unnatural or how much more natural you can make it when you actually sound it out and just see if it fits in your voice. And then oftentimes this can be really powerful, but once you've said all this, you can drop a little bit of a proof point at the very end, even as like a PS under the email, and say, hey, we got 28 booked calls in 2 weeks after you introduce that you can do the same for them. Finally, your follow-up sequences need to be conversion focused. Remember, the point of an email campaign is rarely ever to sell them on the campaign and have them send over credit card info or fill out a payment link. Most of the time, what you're going to be doing is conversion-focused follow-up sequences where the conversion is getting on a call or booking a meeting with them. And to be totally honest, a lot of conversions don't happen after the very first email. Sometimes it does happen, and the best I've seen it is maybe 50 or 60% of the time, but almost all the time happen on the second or third email. So if they don't respond to that first one, don't be discouraged. You just need to have more steps in your campaign. And do not make the mistake of just reminding them that you're there. You need to re-engage them with a fresh perspective, with a new value, with a new case study, reminding them that your solution did something new and interesting that is going to solve the problem for them. If you're hitting them with just checking in, just following up, did you see my previous email? Guess what? They probably saw it, and it probably wasn't interesting enough for them to reply. Give them something that reminds them that you're worth the call. Change up tones, try to be helpful, maybe be curious, ask them a question about where they're at, lead with proof, and I always defer to just being direct when you can. Nobody likes being sold to. If you can talk to them like another human, they will talk back to you like another human. When it comes to follow-ups, the better you segmented, the more angles you should be able to draw out for your follow-ups and frame them as new ideas or new positions that you have or things that you want to suggest that your solution might be able to solve. If you're just doing check-ins going bump, 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 it's not going to work. Nobody likes that. You wouldn't like that. A sample email follow-up sequence could be email 2, you share a win and you nudge them to book a meeting with you. And then for email 3, you give them another call to action and a slight urgency trigger. Hey, we're wrapping up or we're coming up on our Q1 capabilities. Capacity is limited. We want to make sure that we can get you in. Do you want to talk? Don't overthink it. The point of this section is to remind you that follow-ups matter and you need them, and to make them direct and make sure that they're fresh every time. Here's a sample of one of our campaigns where you can see how this actually played out for us. You can see for email 1A and 1B, we got about 27 replies. And then between all of the emails in step 2 and step 3, we got about 28 replies. Half of our replies came from the first email, half the replies came from the second and third email. Following up is a must. You would have missed 50% of that traffic. And this is an even more dramatic example. If you take a look at all of the positive replies from the emails in step 1 and in step 2, you'll see that we got 3 maybe positive replies, and then we got 7 just from following up in step 3. It's massively important that you follow up because you don't know what kind of opportunity you're leaving on the table. And you need to make sure your follow-ups drive action, drive urgency. You already know that email was a high urgency, very direct email. Let's get on a call. When you're writing your email campaign, you need proof-driven authority and case studies. This should come from your previous experience, your previous results that you've driven. You should have case studies of it, and they should be displayed on your website if they're not. But nothing drives authority like proof. If you can show that you have results that you've driven for other people, then it tells people that if you did it for them, they can probably do it for you. Lead with the results that will mirror their situation. Obviously, you want to find whatever is closest to the situation that they're dealing with. But again, if the mechanics are the same, you can use case studies from different adjacent partners to basically prove your point the same. In an email, it would sound something like, we helped a solar company add $100,000 in pipeline in 30 days. If they are a solar company, that's going to sound interesting to them. If they are a company that's adjacent to solar, or maybe they're just interested in pipeline value, it could still play. But you literally need to create a highlight reel, a movie trailer of your results, so that when people come to your website or they come to talk to you, you can just throw them out. And there's so much proof of authority that they don't question whether or not you can do the service. The more that you can embed this in your copy, the more authority you're going to have in your email campaigns and even in general. And this is a golden nugget for how you frame your solution in your copy. If you frame the case study like a before and after story, then they will think of it as a transformation. And every time you're selling something to someone, don't sell them on features, just sell them on the transformation. They were here, we came in and did this, they got to here. The solar company was plateauing. We instituted our new mechanism in our systems. We generated $100,000 in pipeline in 30 days. Before, after, transformation. And this is optional, but it's highly recommended. You should always have some kind of PDF visual asset of the case study showing maybe the pipeline or a bar chart or just some visualization of what you were able to do. I'm harping on the visual aspect because people are skimming nowadays more than ever, and you need to be able to get your point across without them losing focus. It's sad, but it's true. Images, a little bit of text, get the point across. Use gamma.app if you want a tool that can help you illustrate some of this stuff with AI. Look, cold email works when it's relevant and it's sharp and it's proof backed. If you can show them that you did your research, you have a solution that's relevant to them, it's not oversold in the copy, and you have proof that you can get these results, it will work. Don't let your campaigns be defined by open rates. Truthfully, you shouldn't even be tracking them. That's some real sauce, and any good cold email marketer will know that you don't need to be tracking open rates to still drive results. What you should be doing in your campaigns is building trust through the structure, through the follow-ups, by giving them more case studies and more proof points as you follow up. These 5 strategies are the blueprint, but now you need to use your critical thinking to execute with precision. The right campaign structure means nothing if you don't do your homework up front and make sure you're talking to the right audience and offering something relevant to them. If you found this valuable and you want to use the same systems that booked my client $60 million in pipeline value in just about 3 weeks, then book a call with me and we'll see how we can set it up for your business.